Yesterday, I managed to help a friend buy the DJI Pocket 4 Pro from an offline store. Along with the Insta360 Luna Ultra that I bought on launch day, I now have both cameras in hand, so I can finally give a simple comparison. Both of these cameras were purchased with my own money, so this isn't a sponsored review. My friend's Pocket 4 Pro hasn't been activated yet because I still need to ship it to him, so I won't be opening or demonstrating that unit. However, I was able to test all of its main features in the store yesterday, and together with the official specifications and the information available online, I think I have enough experience to make a fair comparison. Build quality and design. Starting with the design, the DJI Pocket 4 Pro clearly feels more premium. The gimbal has better resistance and feels more solid when rotating. Even when it's folded, there's still some movement, but it never feels loose. The Luna Ultra is different. The gimbal feels noticeably softer, and the overall construction isn't as tight as DJI's. The two customizable buttons also feel a bit loose compared to the Pocket 4 Pro. However, the Luna has one advantage. You can use the customizable buttons in both portrait and landscape orientation. On the DJI, those buttons only work when the camera is unfolded. Although DJI's buttons feel much more premium, the Luna offers greater flexibility. As for the joystick, both cameras feel very similar. The Luna's joystick has a slightly more defined center position, while the record button feels almost identical on both cameras. DJI doesn't include a dedicated zoom switch, while the Luna does. Unfortunately, the zoom switch on the Luna also feels a bit loose, so overall, DJI definitely has better build quality. Folding and handling. When folded, the Luna can rattle quite a bit if you don't lock the gimbal with its protective cover. DJI's design is much quieter. I'm currently using an external protective case on the Luna, so I store it vertically. Under normal conditions, when DJI is folded properly, it barely makes any noise when you shake it. The Luna, on the other hand, produces a noticeable rattling sound unless the lock is secured. When holding the cameras, the Luna has a lower center of gravity, making it feel better balanced. The Pocket 4 Pro feels slightly top-heavy unless you attach the battery handle or extension stick. Overall, DJI wins in build quality, but the Luna offers more flexible controls. Personally, I frequently switch between photo and video modes while using the customizable buttons to change filters. Being able to scroll through filters quickly on the Luna is extremely convenient. Camera features. Starting with photography, I think the Luna produces very nice-looking images. It offers a variety of built-in filters, including several Leica-style filters that look excellent. Having used the DJI Pocket 3 before, I actually prefer the straight-out-of-camera colors from the Luna. One drawback is that after taking 2 consecutive photos, the camera pauses to save the files. During this time, none of the buttons respond because it's busy writing the images. This means if both shots don't turn out well, you have to wait before taking more. As far as I know, DJI doesn't have this limitation. Still, the overall image quality from the Luna is impressive. Video recording. The Luna supports 8K at 30 frames per second, although I personally don't use that resolution very often. More importantly, it can record 4K at 120 frames per second with audio using a high bitrate. That's much more useful than traditional slow motion modes, which usually don't record audio and often use much lower bit rates. For everyday shooting, I mainly use 4K 60. One advantage of the Luna is that it also supports night video at 4K 60. However, in this mode, you can't use LUTs or filters, and you're limited to the standard color profile. Because of that, I usually shoot night video in 4K 30 instead. At 4K 30, I can use filters, which helps maintain consistent color between daytime and nighttime footage. During daytime shooting, I normally record in 4K 60 using iLog, together with a baked-in Leica filter. This keeps my colors consistent without needing extra grading later. I think Insta360 could improve this by allowing standard filters in night video at 4K 60, even if LUT baking isn't available. The ability to bake iLog together with built-in filters is one of my favorite Luna features. One limitation is that beauty mode disables filters. Personally, I think beauty mode and filters should work together for users who want ready-to-share footage. As far as I know, DJI also has similar limitations. Detachable screen. One of the Luna's most unique features is its detachable display. Occasionally, there can be a little lag when using it from several meters away, but overall, it's far more convenient than DJI's optional remote controller. The DJI remote costs extra, only has a 3:2 display, and isn't nearly as comfortable to use. The detachable screen also allows touch controls, making it much more useful for selfies and remote filming. Since it's integrated into the system, I only need to carry one device instead of remembering to bring a separate remote. Battery capacity is also well designed. The main camera already has a 1,500 mAh battery, while the detachable display adds another 200 mAh independently. DJI's total battery capacity is 1,500 mAh, so the display doesn't reduce the Luna's main battery. The detachable screen even includes a built-in microphone, allowing it to capture audio when you're filming from a distance. The locking mechanism feels solid, with almost no play once attached. This detachable display is actually the main reason I decided to buy the Luna before the Pocket 4 Pro was officially released. Storage. One downside of the Luna is its internal storage, which is only around 40 gigabytes. The Pocket 4 Pro offers much more internal storage. DJI also includes a feature that allows you to move files from internal storage to an SD card, something I've used before on DJI devices. Unfortunately, the Luna currently doesn't support this. You must choose either internal storage or the SD card. You can't transfer files between them inside the camera. I think this could be greatly improved. Personally, I often record to internal storage first because it's the fastest and most reliable, especially for high-resolution recording like 8K or high frame rate 4K. Later, I simply move the files to the SD card to free up space. This workflow works extremely well on DJI products, but isn't available on the Luna. Smartphone app. Currently, the Luna doesn't support live streaming, although I've seen developers mention that this feature may arrive in a future update. The mobile app is also much simpler than DJI's. On the Pocket 3, for example, Beauty Mode offers detailed controls like lipstick, face slimming, and many other adjustments. The Luna currently only provides whitening and skin smoothing. The results look natural, but DJI still offers far more customization. Hopefully, Insta360 expands these features in future updates. Dual camera quality. One thing I don't particularly like about DJI's marketing is that it focuses heavily on the main camera's impressive specifications, such as its claimed 17-stop dynamic range and D-Log 2. Personally, I think both lenses should perform as similarly as possible. When I travel, I want both the wide-angle and telephoto cameras to produce matching footage. On the Pocket 4 Pro, the main camera uses D-Log 2, while the 3x telephoto only supports D-Log. That means after returning from a trip with hundreds of clips, I'd have to separate footage from the two lenses and apply different LUTs during editing. Unless DJI clearly labels which files came from which lens, this creates unnecessary work. A gimbal camera should make shooting easier, not add more complexity in post-production. The Luna does a much better job here. Both lenses support the same shooting modes and produce very consistent colors. Zoom transitions have also become much smoother after routine firmware updates. Now, whether I shoot at 1x or 3x, I don't need to think about different color pipelines or LUTs. Everything stays consistent, making editing much simpler. Accessories. I also really like the Luna selfie stick. Very few reviewers talk about it, but it's one of the best designed accessories I've used. It uses a spring-loaded locking mechanism that creates constant pressure. Once you tighten it slightly, you don't need to fully screw it down. The spring keeps everything secure. This makes mounting and removing the camera much faster. The selfie stick also extends smoothly, and when combined with the detachable display, you can easily monitor yourself from below while filming at full extension. This is another advantage of the detachable screen. You simply remove it and continue monitoring, instead of pulling a separate remote controller out of your pocket. Personally, DJI's remote feels like a rushed solution after seeing Insta360's detachable display. DJI's magnetic filters also copy the side-sliding design used on its drones. While they work, I find the Luna's magnetic filter system much more convenient.
I'm using third-party magnetic filters that simply snap into place. They don't interfere with storage or folding, and the camera still closes properly. When locked, the Luna remains quiet with no rattling.
Overall, DJI's buttons and controls are better built, but I think the folding mechanism still isn't as refined as previous Pocket models, or even the Luna in certain areas. That's everything I wanted to share in today's comparison.